Hi, I'm Sonia Griffing, and I am the Crestwood Reflections Chair for the 2020-2021 school year. And this video today is to talk to you about what is Reflections and why you should participate and what that looks like. So, Reflections is part of a national PTA program that encourages students to express themselves through the arts. So every year, over 300,000 students from pre-K to 12th grade create original pieces of art in response to a student selected theme. We compete at a school level, at a district level, at a state level, and then at a national level. And at the national levels, there are three different levels of awards. There's the bronze medal, which means you get your work featured in a traveling exhibition. There's an award of excellence where the artist would receive a $200 scholarship. And then there's the Outstanding Interpretation Award where the student would receive an $800 scholarship. And then also the local PTA would receive a $200 prize for that. So it's a fun way to express yourself, but it's also a national competition potentially. Every year, Reflections is centered around a theme, and this year's theme is I Matter Because. It is always chosen by a student, and this one was chosen 2 years ago by a then first grader, and it's probably pretty relative to the times. When we're thinking about everything going on in the world, we think a lot about how we matter and what sort of difference can we make. So students can create original pieces of art in 6 different categories. So the first is dance choreography. They can choreograph their own dance routine. The second would be film production. So that could be a short scripted video. It could be stop animation. It could be a graphic video, any kind of film that they could create. The second would be, or the next one would be literature. And so literature can be anything from short stories to poetry to personal essays. Music composition would be a song. It doesn't have to necessarily be sheet music. It could be something that is just sung or performed on video. Photography is a single shot picture. And visual arts can be drawing. It can be painting. It does, for the most part, need to be two-dimensional. And it also includes collage or like several pieces of photography that are overlaid or that have been edited in some way. So why do we choose to do reflections? Well, there's the obvious. The Crestwood PTA is very passionate about the arts and bringing art to our students and giving them a way to express themselves outside of math and reading and science and social studies, just something to find a different way to show us how their beautiful brains work. We're also doing reflections because we want to be inclusive. Part of the Reflections program is taking this diversity pledge where we try to bring art to as many students as possible, including our homeschool students, especially this year when a lot of people have opted out of being inside the classroom or even being part of the school district. We do accept homeschool applications and artwork for people that would be living in the Crestwood service area. And the National PTA Reflections does a special set of rules and guidelines for what they call their special artist. And these are for students with disabilities who receive services under IDEA or ADA Section 504 plans. And so we want to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to show themselves through art, and then through Crestwood and through the PTA. So there will be links on our Facebook page and on our web page and pretty much anywhere else we can think of to tell you how you can get an official entry form for Reflections. So they do have a fillable form in online, which is this big long line here, which I know isn't a link, but we will provide that, like I said, in one of those different areas. You fill in the form, you can ignore the top part. You put the name, grade, age, classroom, parent, guardian name, all that information, what your grade level is, the title of the work, which is important. Details would be like, it is a mixed media acrylic and tin foil on watercolor paper done with colored pencils and SpaghettiOs. Whatever you use to make that, you would put that up there. Uh, every single category has a different set of rules, and over the course of the weeks, I will be adding and dropping different videos about what each of those categories looks like, what those specific rules are, and give you links to that specific page so you know that you're following the rules correctly. The artist statement is a super, super important part of reflections, and I have another video that I'm posting today that will tell you about what that artist statement means. But just remember, important, super important. Here's a list of resources. You can go, if you have any more questions, you can go to pta.org/reflections, and there's just a whole bunch of information there for you. There are resources available for you to do at home, and I know we're doing a lot of things at home, but just in case, like this thing here on the right. And then if you have any questions about reflections and what that means, go ahead and look for links on our Crestwood home webpage, cwpta.com, or email cwptaprez@gmail.com with any questions, and we'll get back to you. All the submissions are going to have to be virtual, which means you'll need to take a picture of it or send a video. If you are doing visual art, you will need to keep that original piece of artwork because that's the only thing that will be accepted at the national level. So hopefully we will see artwork coming in. You have until November 13th. So it's a while away. Have fun with the theme. Think about all the different ways that you matter. And hopefully we'll be seeing your art soon. That's really about all I have to say to you. I'm really hoping that everyone takes the time to, at the very least, sit and think about why you matter. And then if you really feel the urge, we'd love to see your art, your songs, your dances, your photos. And that's really all I have to say. I'll see you next week.